slow in general, and here we are. So
Are these still captain's practices?
No, these are actually
okay, it's actually
I'm just pissed because I have to leave practice for this.
yeah.
And I didn't get to get there.
That sucks.
I just,
You got 15 minutes.
there's no chance of running up the
It's your loss. If you really want a pork chop,
I really want
you run.
Good, Jacob. What's up?
Yeah, I just
What's that list?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Do we have the starting lineups already?
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Corbin Field Stadium on campus of Swarthmore College for tonight's non-conference men's soccer game between the St. Mary's College Seahawks and your Swarthmore College Garnet. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Seahawks. A sophomore from Salisbury, Maryland, number 3, Aiden Kelly. A senior from Crofton, Maryland, number 7, Josh McRoby. A sophomore from Leonardtown, Maryland, number 8, Jacob Breslauer. A senior from Bowie, Maryland, number 10, Khalid Balogun. A senior from Crofton, Maryland, number 11, Brad Moore. A freshman from Middletown, Maryland, number 13, Matt Barlow. A junior from Bowie, Maryland, number 17, Roshan Canton. A senior from Huntingtown, Maryland, number 22, Anoy Hindle. A junior from Rockville, Maryland, number 31, Cristobal Corvalon. A senior from Lundy, Maryland, number 35, Andrew Kalinowski. And in goal for the Seahawks, a senior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, number 0, Patrick Paolini. The Seahawks are coached by Alan Oliver, is assisted by Jamie Webster, Kevin Seeger, Herb Gainey, and Jeremy Raley. And now let's meet the starting lineups for your Swarthmore Garnet. A sophomore from Los Altos, California, number 2, Ben Lau. A sophomore from London, England, number 4, Ari Nevins.
He just waved to the back.
A senior from Culver City, California, number 5, Trevor Homestead. A senior from Baltimore, Maryland, number 6, Felix Lanigan. A senior from Folsom, Pennsylvania, number 9, Joey Bradley. A junior from San Jose, California, number 11, Woo Jin Shin. A junior from New York, number 12, Michael Gross. A freshman from Washington, D.C., number 16, Les Touchave. A sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island, number 19, Io George.
Yeah, because they got Trev, Holden,
And then Wujin and
A
Joey.
junior from Rivervale, New Jersey, number 22, Joe Barilli. And in goal for the Garnet, a senior from Washington, D.C., number 1, Oliver Steinglass.
Oh, the god.
Swarthmore is coached by Eric Wagner, is assisted by Kieran Dalton, Tor Hotham, Harry Ishiropoulos, and Brendan Grady. Fans, at this time we'll be presenting our national anthem. Swarthmore College joins the NCAA in the Centennial Conference in promoting good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Thank you. And Swarthmore has gone green with its game day programs. Visit swarthmoreathletics.com/programs to view today's digital game day programs on your phone or mobile device. Again, that's swarthmoreathletics.com/programs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday night soccer here on the Garnet Sports Network. Jacob Brady on the call alongside Santi Caicedo.
Hey, Jacob, how you doing?
Pretty good, and I'm excited for a great game tonight. It's a matchup of undefeated teams in the number 24 nationally ranked St. Mary's College Seahawks and the Swarthmore College Garnet opening up their season 5-0. They had a fantastic win against Eastern on last Wednesday, actually. It was a 2-1 win in double overtime. I don't know if you caught that Joe Barilli
excellent goal from Joey Barilli and the dying moments of the second period of overtime. That was truly... That's not a goal you see a lot in the Centennial Conference, and it was very nice.
First time that the Garnet actually had won a game in double overtime in a while. We traditionally seen that they got tired at the end of games. I think that really speaks to the fitness of the team this season as they were able to take that double overtime win. You used to seeing them concede in overtime, but this time doing the opposite, getting the road win against Eastern. But now they turn their sights to a nationally ranked opponent, an opponent that they beat 3-1 last season as they went on to a 12-4-4 finish. The man to look out for Eastern, number 10 in the blue, Khalid Balagan, with 8 goals so far this season. He scored 12 in 18 games, and he is at a very high clip this season with 8 goals through 5 games. On the other side for the Garnet, Joe Barilli, the leading scorer. He's got 4 goals to his name. Second on the team, Woojin Shin, the center midfielder, with 3. And quickly, here's Barilli trying to cross it in, and it's headed away by Kalinowski. Held by Shin at the side of the box, tries to zip a low one in there. Oh, bad spot for the ref. Tumushabe, top of the box now. Shin. Joey Bradley starting in the midfield for the first time tonight. And Michael Gross will push on up ahead. Some new starters for the Garnet, at least since their last home game. The back line has gotten fully fit. Felix Lannion healthy again, so Sean Nolan is bounced from the starting lineup. Or, I'm sorry, actually, it was
Derek Muse.
It was Ben Lau. Yes, it was Ben Lau who was starting at right back. Jason Muth was starting in the middle. Ben Lau has now moved back to center back alongside Harry Nevins with a healthy Felix Lannion and Michael Gross healthy as well. So that will bounce Sean Nolan from the starting lineup. And also up top, they seem to have settled on Joe Barilli and Ayo George out wide with Bless Tumushabe centering. So we'll see if this is the lineup that lasts as we get started for Centennial Conference play this Saturday against Dickinson. That'll be a home game, and we'll have the call on that as well. Up the sideline for the Seahawks, Gross has got and clears it back up ahead. Set back down. Shin, however, is there near midfield. Nice touch from him. So the Garnet led up ahead. Tumushabe trying to chase it down, but comfortably led out of bounds by Brad Moore.
And very early on, we're already seeing the Garnet take on these long through balls. Right there, the pass intended for Tumashabi, which went a little too far, but even the first kick of the game, right after kickoff, the ball that was able to sneak past the defender for Joe Barilli, shows that what we've seen over the last couple home games is not just an aberration. It appears to be the main strategy for the team kind of heading into the season, especially with such pacey players such as Barilli, George, and Tumashabi up front.
Garnet defense, the ones sending those long balls, have not recorded a clean sheet yet this season. They'll have a tough job doing that against a Seahawks offense that has scored 18 goals so far. Balogun pressuring Nevins up there, but he gets it away. Good touch by Tumashabi to get around the edge. Here's Tumashabi stutter stepping his way, or at least trying to past the defender, but good play by Aiden Kelly. Back on the counter. Balogun's got it out wide. Making a run is McRobe. That'll be cleared out the back, so it'll be a corner kick for St. Mary's.
Pretty good counterattack there from St. Mary's. A very well-intended pass by Balogun, who I just couldn't help but notice the the size difference. Harry Nevins and Ben Lau are two fairly tall members of this Swarthmore team, and looks to be at least 1 or 2 inches taller than the both of them. That could be very dangerous, especially during these set pieces.
Delivered into the box. I believe Nevins was the one to get a touch on it. Io George gets the head on Tumashabi. What a touch to get around the edge. Tumashabi really in the middle, yeah. And that's a clear foul right there. Tumashabi got grabbed and then pushed.
Yeah, very clear grab there, and I'm surprised that the referee hasn't gone for the yellow card. There was one defender left, and Joe Barilli was running free there. That, even though it's an early part of the game, it should definitely be a yellow card for the St. Mary's defender.
Ben Lau will take the free kick. He'll go quickly to Joe E. Bradley. Homestead's got it, and we'll switch fields for Gross along the far sideline.
Bit of a misplaced pass there.
And ball booted all the way down. Looks like it'll go to Steinglass. McRoby thought about running after it, decided to save his energy instead. Lannion plays it back to Lau. He searches out a pass.
Good pass.
Yeah, great ball to Joe Barilli, excuse me. Two very similar names. Thrown for the Seahawks goes to Hindle. Looking for McRoby, but Garnet defender is there. Touched out wide to Breslauer. Bradley, and led into his path was Shin. Out wide for George. Gets it along the near sideline, trying to get his way in behind. George crosses it, but cleared away by Kalinowski.
Good job by George winning the baseline over his defender, but not enough people in the box. I think there are only two, Bless Tumashabi and Joe Barilli. We need more support from at least the attacking midfielders to step up and get in the box for those opportunities. Swarthmore looking pretty good so far, creating a couple of good chances. I mean, that foul stopped what would have been a clear goal-scoring chance, and with Joe Barilli's record so far, probably it would have been a goal if I had to place a bet. But so, I mean, pretty good tactical foul there by the defender, but just overall a good, solid start from Swarthmore. Let's hope they can keep this up. We see Ben Lau and Felix Lanyon quickly switching over, and now Lau advancing up with the rest of the team.
Bradley plays it back into the middle. Tumashabi trying to slip it past the back line to Barilli.
And in a situation like that, Tumashabi's got to have more trust in his left foot. If he put that pass in with his left foot, he probably would have made it to Barilli. But by trying to
sent all the way down to Balogun, he'll cross it back behind McRoby that time. Homestead Too much contact from behind by Roshan Panton. And a free kick for the Garnet. Yeah, that Ben Lau, Felix Lanyon switch was interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that, as we saw in the first couple games.
Right.
That Ben Lau was really great pushing up into attack.
Pushing up and then sending those long balls over the top to Tumashabi.
Yeah.
And here we go again, another attempt.
Push back into the St. Mary's midfield, but Bradley, good job backtracking.
Bradley playing with a lot of energy early.
George tries to save it, but it'll go out. Throw for St. Mary's. Breslauer up the line. Balogun misses. And they'll square it back to Nevins. Homestead with some pressure, but finds the open man in Gross. And a poor pass there from him.
That's his second misplaced pass so far in these first 10 minutes. But besides that, really Swarthmore's been very clinical with their passes. I mean, some of the long balls obviously haven't made it, but most of their short game has been very tidy. And it hasn't been like those sloppier games we've seen in the last couple weeks and even last season.
Sent another long ball down from Lau, but Steinglass, good job coming off his line, clear that ball away. But
That's a situation where the referee should have called offside on Bless Tumashabi, as he was behind the defender once Steinglass kicked it and it slipped forward, but the no call was given. And now Swarthmore, I was about to say Swarthmore back on attack, but good recovery there by Panton.
tried to slip that ball through to McRoby. Instead, Nevins able to get it well up the field to Barilli. To Mushabe, tries to get it back into his path, played out the side by Kalinowski. Throw for the Garnet. Send it into Gross.
The Garnet need to be very mindful of where Khalid Balogun is at all times. He's already slipped behind the defense a couple times, saved once by his poor cross and then once by a great clearance from Oliver Steinglass. But this is a guy who has nearly half of his team's goals, and if he's not accounted for, he might get a larger share.
Shin gets up for that ball. Lanny in. Slips in the midfield. Panton. Pass behind to McRoby. He's in clear. Nevins now coming back to it. Takes a shot, but weakly at the near post. Steinglass, easy hold for him. And that's another guy they got to worry
Absolutely.
about. Sure, but McRoby as well making some great runs in.
Absolutely, and Rashawn Panton in the middle of the field has already made a couple of nice plays. He set up a through ball in the first couple minutes that was really nice. I mean, he was also responsible for the foul on Bless Tumashabe earlier, which did halt a probable scoring chance. So he's definitely been very involved in these first few minutes.
Io George plays it back to Bradley as Nevins got beautiful crossfield pass to Lanyon. Go back to him.
He does have Joe Barilli with some space there for the switch. Decided to look for George.
Lanyon gets pushed down by Panton again.
And Panton does have to be careful. At this point, he's already has 3 fouls. It's only been about 10 minutes. And if he keeps going, the referee will have no choice but to put him in the book.
Homestead is going to take this free kick. Near sideline, about 35 yards out. They'll set up right at the top of the 18. Now they all make their run. Tumushabe was going up for it, but a little tall for him, and now a chance on the counter, but Barilli able to save it. Tries to put it back in with his right foot, settles out. Lau takes a shot, still loose in the box. Bradley trying to get on it and puts it over the crossbar.
It will be a corner kick.
Oh.
Took a deflection off of the defender there, but that's what happens if the team can't get the ball out of their own half. That will create scoring opportunities. Also want to point out that Balogun using his clear size advantage to win that header on the initial free kick. So he'll probably be a very big danger from set pieces, both offensively and defensively.
Appears to be Michael Gross on this corner. Lifted in. Ben Lau was trying to come back to it, but he commits the foul as Balogun goes down. And now a goal kick for, or pardon me, a free kick for goalie Patrick Paolini, senior from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Short kick, George heads it back down, and he'll have a chance to chase after it. Kept in by Matt Barlow. Pushes up ahead, good pressure in the back from Homestead, but now Balogun trying to get along the side. Balogun just able to keep it in a foot race there with
Good recovery there by Lanyon.
Yeah.
The referee calls for a pull on Balogun.
Lanyon holds the school record. I believe it's in the, say the 60-meter sprint. Yeah, which he set his first time ever running it back in, I think it was the spring of 2018. So great track speed from him. Lanyon cuts back onto his left foot. Tumushabe trying to hold it up, but it gets taken away from him. Panton now. Trying to slip through to McRoby, stays onside. McRoby, Nevins is chasing. McRoby in! What a save from Steinglass!
Oh my goodness. And I swore that one was going in for St. Mary's. McRoby's going to regret missing that opportunity. But the Swarthmore center backs need to really get in touch because they've been exposed repeatedly with through balls and over-the-top deep balls. And if they keep letting this happen, there's going to be one shot that Oliver Steinglass can't save.
Michael Gross down in the corner fighting for it, but it is a Seahawks throw. I mean, I still can't believe that Steinglass made that save. He was going the other way, managed to kick his leg out, and just keep that ball out of the net. What a fantastic job from the senior keeper there. Throw for St. Mary's down in their own corner. Goes back to Homestead, and he'll lead it forward to Lanyon. Good touch to get around McRoby. Lanyon still dancing around. Now switch to Gross. Tries to pick a path through, instead has to send it back to his center back. And they'll just continue to wait for something to open up in this St. Mary's defense. Bradley's got it. It's taken away.
And another recovery by Panton.
Panton now. He's got Balogun in the middle. Almost managed to stay in possession there, even on the ground. Lanyon up the line to Bradley. Into the middle now for Tumushabe. Had some space to work. Good challenge there.
Good challenge there. Definitely by Anoy Hindle.
Brad Moore tries to poke it on forward. Panton now goes over the top. McRoby there again. Nevins with this clearance.
And Nevins already is trying to stretch something out. Looks like the clearance may have pulled something. And now he's back up.
George lines this one up a little bit too far under it.
Oh, Nevins is back on the ground. And I think going up for that clearance, he may have pulled something because he does not look okay right now. Massaging himself.
Yeah, looks like a hamstring of that right leg. Those
And the referee's going to call over the trainers, and we'll see a replay of this. Oh no, it was a replay of the save. Great job there, once again, by Steinglass.
I think they'll put some time back on the clock.
29:04. We'll see if Harry Nevins can continue playing or if he's going to have to come off in a bit, but looks so far that he will continue on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard him saying, I'm fine, but a little bit concerning when a guy has to take a seat, and
yeah,
you can see he looks a little bit uncomfortable.
No, and immediately after that clearance, he just like went down and stretched it out, trying to see if it was something wiggly, and then he got back up and then sat back down right again. So clearly there's something bothering him right now, but he should be fine. He's already there directing the line for the free kick.
Just past midfield for, I believe it's Kalinowski. I have the leg on this. Pushed nearly straight down the middle. Nevins is there. Balogun runs into the back of Barilli.
And in that situation, I don't think you can call that foul because Joe Barilli had no eyes on Balogun. Balogun was the one who backed into Barilli.
Yeah, I mean, Barilli's standing there looking upfield, and Balogun
comes in from behind. I mean, but the call was given, and now a fairly dangerous free kick on the edge of Swarthmore's box for the Seahawks.
Balogun standing over it with perhaps Breslauer alongside him.
It'll be Balogun with the shot.
Yeah, tried to go low. Go out to Tumushabe at the tops. Good footwork from Balogun. Almost held on to it and gets it back to Aiden Kelly. Lanyon, good step. And now goes upfield to Mushabe.
And there's
yeah.
hands by Breslauer as the referee calls the free kick.
Easy call right in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lau will take this free kick inside his own half. Play it to Lanyon instead, and they'll look to switch all the way over to Gross. Looking to go upfield, trying to overlap with Barilli, but he'll play it back to his center back. And now the long ball to Mushabe, able to get underneath, pops it forward, and picked up by Paolini.
Yeah, you can only push it forward like that if you have someone making a run, or else there's really no point. But it seems like in the last few minutes the balance of power has shifted slightly in favor of St. Mary's. A lot of dangerous fast breaks, and Swarthmore seems to kind of they're getting stuffed a little bit in midfield by Panton and these other defenders, but they're still maintaining that solid defensive line when it's not during these fast breaks. I mean, anytime St. Mary's tries to build, Lanyon has been stepping up very well to block it, but it's on these counterattacks that both McRoby and Balogun have just been getting in consistently, and I don't know if they need one center back to kind of sit back deep to prevent that, but they do need to make adjustments.
Felix Lanyon with it at midfield, up ahead to George, trying to find the ball. Now he does. George trying to beat his man around the edge.
And he beats him soundly.
Gets it back into the middle for Tumushabe, still on it. There's a push called on Hindle. And that'll be a free kick for the Garnet, and a good spot for them, right about where that Balogun free kick.
Yeah, almost in the exact same spot on the other side of the field.
We know that Homestead has a very good leg, has scored twice this season, one of those from the penalty spot, and that also set a new career high for him for a season. Had only scored one goal. That was his previous career high and his career total. And we'll see, maybe we'll try
for a shot. That could be.
Yeah.
Looks like he'll cross.
almost got onto the head of Tumushabe. Barilli is there top of the box. Panton
Once again.
free, yeah. Barilli able to get it back into the path of Homestead. Trying to dodge through some traffic. Out wide now.
Panton made the mistake of having a great recovery, but no one to give the ball to. This ball still stays in the box.
Yeah, loose ball like that, very dangerous. And finally, just sent away by Breslau, and he got all the way to McRoby. Here he comes, Lanyon and Nevins there with him. Could it get to Balogun, and he sends it sky high. And Balogun is down, as is
Michael Gross? No.
It's not sure who that is.
Might be... Oh, and it's Woojin Shin.
Yeah. But he is back up to his feet, was sprinting back alongside Balogun, got enough touch on that ball to redirect it over the top, or enough pressure on Balogun at least to force him to put that shot off target, and he is back up on his feet.
Yeah, and it was a great effort by Woojin Shin to really come back and make that tackle, because or else Balogun would have been in on goal. And it's just kind of an example of how what it looks like St. Mary's biggest weakness turned into its biggest strength. They couldn't get the ball out of the box. They couldn't. And then when they finally clear it, it just turns to be another one of those devastating through balls, which, if it weren't for Lanyon's speed and Harry Nevin's recovery, would have ended in a goal. Absolutely.
I mean, all it was Breslauer just literally booting it as hard as he could, and somehow it got right to McRoby. And
once again, the kind of high positioning of Swarthmore center backs allowed him to just run through straight. If it weren't for that, 60-yard track speed that Felix Lanyon has, he probably would have been free.
Played back to Barlow. Able to get around Homestead, but Shin over the top. Gets it over his head. Tumushabe trying to fight for it. Be played out the side. Beautifully directed pass over the head by Shin. Throw-in goes to Tumushabe. Now Lanyon's got it. Played back to him, looking for somebody to make some sort of run. Instead, he'll switch to Gross. Gross cutting into the middle. Now lifts up. Breslauer there for the St. Mary's defense.
And it's kind of easy to see why Trevor Homestead's previous career best in the season was 1 goal. In that situation, he was sitting deeper than both the left and right backs were, as Lanyon and Gross like to push up a lot in attack, and he has to stay back and take care of kind of the space that they leave behind.
Shot taken, but directed well over by Brad Moore after the rebound off the Harry Nevins clear. So it'll be a goal kick for Steinglass. We have an extra ball on the field. And he'll take it short to Lau. Switch to Gross. Along the near sideline, gets a bullet through to Shin.
And Shin goes down.
Yeah.
Throw in for the Garnet. It almost looked as if he went down injured, but it must have just been a bump from the defender. Oh, and a poor touch there from Michael Gross. The ball will just roll out of bounds.
So St. Mary's gets the throw. Gross nearly able to recover that, but played out of bounds. So St. Mary's will creep up the sideline. Some subs for the Garnet, starting to get warm down on the sideline. Into the middle for Hindle. Now he plays it back to Barlow. Kalinowski pushes it up ahead to Balogun. And that's one of the things about his ability to hold up the ball. Great tackle by Nevins.
And that's the exact kind of tackle Nevins wants to make. Perfectly clean, but also sending a bit of a message with that. And just want to point out, when they don't have that deep ball, Balogun is really dropping deep in order to receive the ball, so that kind of eliminates the threat of him on the run. If Swarthmore able to just take away the routes for that deep ball, I would almost feel that Balogun could be just fully neutralized in this game.
Yeah. I believe it was Barilli who played it out the side there. Throw goes to Panton. Panton cutting in towards the top of the box. Now tries to lift it through. McRoby wanted to get on the end of it, but it settles in the hands of Steinglass. Rolls it up ahead to Nevins. And he'll get things started. Gross up the sideline. Barilli trying to redirect it to the middle. And now Bradley on it. Homestead will switch out wide for Lanning, who has some space. Looking up ahead for Tumushabe. And now Breslauer just tries to send it back down. Nevins gets the head on first. Panton against Bradley. And the foul called on Bradley. Didn't see much in his contact.
But I do think that battle between Panton and Bradley is going to be a very interesting one throughout the game. Panton has already stepped in with a bunch of very nice interceptions and made a couple very good passes for the Seahawks. But Joey Bradley plays with such intensity and just kind of aggression that it looks like it's going to be a fun battle for the next 70 or so minutes. 65 or so minutes.
Ball still loose at the back. Shin's got it. And just couldn't get it through to George. Homestead able to win it back along the near sideline into the path of Lannion. Trying to come forward.
Just a little more patience there from Shin, and he would have seen that Joe Barilli was running down the left sideline for a through ball. That could have been very dangerous, but Swarthmore's yet to take advantages of the poor clearances and poor passes from the back that St. Mary's have made a couple times. And right now, you look at the stats. They have 2 shots. St. Mary's has 6. They need to take advantage of that kind of situation if they want to get a goal right now.
Breslauer preparing to take the throw, and the sub is Isaac Akobo, junior from Hyattsville.
And Josh McRoby, I think, will have to be a little disappointed in his performance so far in the game. He's made a couple of great runs, but he has not been able to finish, and there was one where he was definitely expected to finish. Except that Oliver Steinglass made a spectacular save.
Panton nearly gets it forward to Akobo. Akobo now with it again, and Nevins has to send it upfield. Barilli is there. Back to Gross. Send it long for Barilli to run onto it, but that will just knuckle out of bounds for a Seahawks throw.
Now Charlie Ward waiting at half field to get onto the field, and it appears that Omri Gal will also be joining him for the Swarthmore subs.
Charlie Ward began the season starting in the midfield. Io George trying to get forward. Paolini comes off his line to clear that away.
A great step there by Patrick Paolini, because if he had stayed in his goal just a split second longer, Io George would have had his head on that ball, and he may have been celebrating as we speak.
Lannion able to clear upfield. This will roll loose in the Garnet midfield. Touched back to Gross by Shin. I was saying, Ward started the season in the midfield, and Bradley replacing him for the first time here tonight, as he had started every game up until this point. Pass forward to Akobo. He had Panton overlapping with him. And Tumushabe tracking back. Lannion strong clearance, but goes to Breslauer. Bradley able to get the touch, and now Lannion's got it along the near sideline. Tumushabe tried to get into the middle for Bradley. It's taken away by Moore.
The problem for the Garnet is whenever Bless Tumushabe decides to drop or move right, no one takes his spot in the center of the field. So now you see when they're breaking, he's left lagging behind, and someone like Ben Lau is forced to step up in the position. What what has to happen is if he moves over to the right side of the wing, then Io George needs to immediately slide over to that center so that there's not just an empty space if Swarthmore have an opportunity to break or move forward with the ball.
Played back to Paolini. Barilli will apply the pressure. But a nicely cleared ball goes to Brad Moore. Had some space up the wing. He'll play it back to Hindle. Gets it to Panton. And Bradley forces him to play it back down the field.
And now Connor Gill and Zach Viscuzzi have also joined the subs, waiting to come onto the field. So it looks like it'll be a pretty big switch up for the Swarthmore College Garnet in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, looking like they're trying to inject a spark into this Garnet attack in the final.
And that's the second time, Felix Lanyon has taken the ball away from Balogun, and the second time Balogun has fouled Lanyon in the process. Seems to be kind of getting on it, pushing his buttons a little bit, getting him to make mistakes, and really kind of just has his number so far in the first half.
Gross. Barilli tries to spin up the sideline. Got deflected, so that'll be a Garnet throw, but first they'll make the subs, as you said, Santi, Connor Gill, Zach Viscuzzi, Omri Gall, and Charlie Ward all making their way onto the field. Shin, George, Bradley, and Barilli will come off. So Tumushabe remaining up top. Connor Gill now on the right wing. And a little surprised by that switch.
Definitely.
Connor Gill does not have that same pace that George does on the right side. But
Absolutely. I was just thinking that. I was thinking maybe Tumushabe should kind of shift over and play right wing while leaving Connor Gill the space to play in the middle and play up top, but we'll see how he's able to do. And
Number 3, Zach Viscuzzi.
Paolini looking to get the Seahawks going on the counter. Be passed back in the middle for Hindle. Plays it back to Barlow. Breslauer was looking to creep upfield. Long ball, but too high for Akobo. Ward trying to turn. It's played into the middle for Balogun.
once again, Balogun dropping deep all the way to the halfway line. As players like Panton step up to the top.
Yeah, he definitely has a great ability to hold up the ball for his teammates, but he's all
No, but
to some degree, you take that's the better of two
scenarios, because if you have him running over the top, then he might run over this whole defense. But by forcing him to drop and having other players stay up top, then Swarthmore was able to neutralize one of the biggest threats that the Seahawks have.
Lau will play forward to Lanyon, looking for his path. Goes right up the sideline to Gale. And now Ward has got it. Gall has to play it back to Lau. Now they'll get Gross with some room.
Now you see there Connor Gill kind of dropping into a more center midfield position while Charlie Ward nestles against the back line. See a lot more fluidity in this team than you did last year. Last year you had Trevor Homestead playing a more defensive role, Woojin Shin playing more attacking, the wingers staying on their wings, and the strikers staying where they were. The most you'd get was Ethan Witkowski and Zach Viscuzzi kind of swapping places as strikers, but now this year you see a lot more fluidity. Bless Tumushabe seems to have the freedom to kind of drift to the wings and trying to see what he can find on those diagonal runs, and while there, Charlie Ward moving up to join the strikers on the previous play. And once again, Balogun winning a header, and the referee will call a handball.
Yeah, looks like Panton knocked that down as it came off of Balogun's head with some speed, but it'll set up another free kick for the Garnet, and this one very nearly straight away. Charlie Ward will be the taker. Now Gall standing there with him as well. Gall will back off. And Ward will take his 10 paces.
wonder if he'll shoot.
He certainly isn't afraid to from that distance. If they'd push it back about another 10 yards, maybe.
Maybe it would have dipped in, but not the greatest contact with the ball. And now Derek Muth, the freshman, will be replacing Michael Gross. Maybe Coach Wagner trying to take it a little easy with Gross. He played a lot of the first half, but he's still coming off an injury. Pretty solid performance so far from Gross, I'd say. Particularly defensively, he's had a couple of errant passes when moving further upfield, and another deep ball.
Kobo trying to chase this down. Lau gets to it first, couldn't save it. Throw in for the Seahawks. But yeah, it definitely seemed that Gross, after the first 5 or so minutes, he had those couple errant passes, but really settled into things. Balogun with a speculative shot there, but right at Steinglass. And now Nevins trying to get things going. Muth into the middle. There's an errant pass from him, taken away by Panton. Balogun making the run. Ooh, just wide.
And Steinglass just watched that one go by.
Yeah.
So close to rolling into the bottom corner there. But I have to say, I know that save was fairly standard from Steinglass, but just kind of commenting on his overall season, I find him even more impressive right now so far than he was last season. And last season he was playing so spectacularly well, but he's really kind of hit another level right now in the early portions of his senior year.
Gill off the outside of his foot, able to play it all the way up to Tumushabe, can't quite save it. Throw for Breslauer. Goes back to Kalinowski, who has to boot away. Balogun trying to dance his way through traffic, but Homestead able to take it away. Gill to Ward, now poked up for Tumushabe, too far.
Now have a double substitution. Quentin Millette will replace Bless Tumushabe, and number 23, Josh Luongo, will replace Cristobal Corvalan.
Yeah, you can definitely see Tumushabe in the last couple minutes just slightly losing his quickness, so they'll give him that extra rest along with half and let.
Oh, and a very nice back heel volley pass there by Panton. And the referee will call the advantage back, as I believe it may have been Ben Lau, but I'm not sure, was tugging onto the shirt of Isaac Akobo.
Yeah, Ben Lau with a firm grip back there for a good couple seconds. And referee looks like just a talking to for the time being.
I would be absolutely shocked if he gave him a yellow card.
Oh
my God. And it's utterly ridiculous that you give a yellow card for that when there are at least 5 or 6 defenders running back. But the tackle on Bless Tumushabe early on with one defender and Joe Barilli running free got absolutely nothing. I think that's... While I do agree that might be a yellow card foul, then
Right,
that
yeah,
one should just definitely should have been a booking as well.
Tried to poke it through that defensive line there. Millett and Viscusi chasing on up ahead. Breslauer, though, has it for the Seahawks. Trying to get it into Balogun. Harry Nevins, once again, another fantastic defensive play.
And Harry Nevins showing 0. Oh!
Balogun, the shot. And the goal.
And just a failure to clear it there from the Swarthmore defense, with an awkward bounce kind of going in Balogun's favor, and he was just able to put that shot where Oliver Steinglass was not going to reach it.
You saw the initial play from Nevins, but then they just could not get it clear out of the box, and Balogun taking advantage. That's what he does. Gets his 9th goal of the season.
And Khalid Balogun will continue his spectacular run of form. 9 goals in 6 games. Really another level for the forward.
So Garnet with 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this first half, looking to see if they can try to tie it up. Gill leads the ball forward to Lanyon. Homestead pushing up as well. Lanyon now pausing, lifts one across goal. Did Paolini tip it?
And the referee will call for a corner there. Swarthmore just has 6 minutes left in the first half to find an equalizer, but the entirety of the second.
Believe.
And a great job there done by Balogun on the goal to just kind of slide behind the defender who missed the clearance.
Ward lifts it across.
I think that's the first header Balogun hasn't won in his own box today.
Akobo trying to make the turn. And a free kick taken quickly.
The referee will blow it back as Brad Moore took it about 5 yards forward of where the infraction actually was.
So they'll bring it back, and Kalinowski will take the free kick from well within his own half.
And looks like Trevor Homestead is limping off the field. He'll be replaced by Luca Marcelli, the freshman. This will be the first time I personally have watched Marcelli play. Interesting to see how he does in that holding midfielder spot.
Yes, it is Marcelli's first appearance of the season for the Garnet.
And you hate to see Homestead come off injured because, you know, he is one of the Garnet's most important players and kind of irreplaceable in that holding midfield position. As you see, he's being tended to on the bench by the trainers.
Nevins coming forward with it. Goes long, gets it crossfield to Connor Gill. Trying to push it through off the outside of his foot. Rolling back to Kalinowski, who will lead it into the hands of Paolini. He throws forward to get things going once again for the Seahawks.
And it's interesting that even with the introduction of Quentin Millette, who I've seen playing a lot on the wing since last year, Connor Gill is still playing that midfielder role, still playing as a winger, and it's Quentin Millette himself who's currently playing the number 9 for the Garnet.
Along the outside comes, I believe is that Marcelli?
That was Derek Muth charging up the line.
Sorry, numbers a little small from up here in the press box. Apologize if we get any of them wrong at any time. Played back to Paolini as he looks for his pass. And now up the sideline comes Kelly. Viscusi, Balogun was coming back to him. Kalinowski. Millett able to win it back for the Garnet. Gill trying to spin back onto that ball, but
will win the free kick.
Free kick
after the foul from Zachary Urich.
So the Garnet with another set piece opportunity, 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and it looks like it'll be Connor Gill who will take this. I don't think I've ever seen him take a set piece, but and now Charlie Ward comes over.
Look to deliver this one into the box, maybe try to avoid Khalid Balogun, who has more clearances today than either of St. Mary's center backs, I'd like to believe.
Ward curls this in, but it is cleared away. Goes out of bounds. Muth will take the throw.
That's Marcelli.
Oh, that's Marcelli. Okay. Marcelli in traffic along the far sideline.
The referee will call a free kick. That one looked a little dubious, I have to say. It looked like the defender got the ball, but call is a call.
So, virtually a corner here for the Garnet. Believe that's Ward standing on it once again. Ben Lau is in the box. Ward trying to curl it in towards the near post.
Cleared by Hindle.
And then Muth sends it back down.
Headed out again by Hindle.
Muth fighting for it, and Akobo pushes it all the way forward. Back to Muth. And taken away from him by Akobo. Panton now. Balogun trying to make a run with 1 minute remaining. And Garnet able to spoil that. Viscusi heads it back upfield. Connor Gill trying to get around that far side and gets run off the ball. Balogun
looking to switch. Oh, and somehow gets it through.
And Brad Moore got fouled.
That kind of high-arcing ball should not be won by the attacker. It gives the defender enough time to really track it, but it looks there like Derek Muth just lost sight of the ball for a second, and that'll let Brad Moore get in behind and draw the foul.
That sort of reminds me of that Wayne Rooney cross from last year where it just went a couple 100 feet in the air and somehow was won by the attacker, that time in the box for a goal, but it will result in a free kick now for St. Mary's. And this is Zachary Urich who will take it, and he might, based on their setup, try to shoot this one. Balogun, Kalaniski, and Brad Moore all clustered on the far side at the top of the 18. They will run in towards the back post. What a chance for Brad Moore,
and a smart cross back there from Zachary Urich. Really well placed. However, Brad Moore had to do better there. Really kind of had a free volley there, but just put it way over.
10, 9,
10 side, 10 seconds now.
6, 5,
and time will expire in the first half. It's a 1-0 game right now. Definitely could have been more.
Yeah, no, they St. Mary's had a couple of really bright plays, you know. This could have been a 2 to 3 goal lead by now if it weren't for Oliver Steinglass. And really Swarthmore hasn't taken advantage of the few opportunities they've had, you know. They had a couple of nice plays early on in the match, and then really all of their chances afterwards kind of came from errors made by the St. Mary's defense, and it's the kind of situation you have to take advantage of, because if you're not really creating as a team, then you just really need to capitalize on mistakes, and Swarthmore haven't been able to do that. They really need to. During the back half of the second half, they did start to really defend those long balls a lot better. You know, we saw a lot less get through. However, yeah, you know, they had to really clear that ball on the goal. Great job there by Khalid Balogun to slide in past the defender who was marking him and really place that somewhere where Oliver Steinglass couldn't get it.
1-0 your score at the half. We'll take this 15-minute break and be back for second half action. The nationally ranked St. Mary's College Seahawks taking on the Swarthmore Garnet on Wednesday Night Soccer.
Why choose Swarthmore? Wow.
I don't know how to say this in like one interview.
There's just like this magnetic secret on campus that people really can't describe.
The campus itself is beautiful.
I was absolutely floored when I first came here. A lot of it came from the values that SWAT has.
It truly is the people that make this community. All my memories are inseparable from the people that were around me.
I applied to Swarthmore through the Questbridge National College Match, and it's a program that matches high-achieving, low-income students with really selective institutions like this.
I knew I wanted to play basketball in college. Basketball was a tool that would enable me to get a great education. In high school, I was kind of pressured by the standard to play Division I, but I wanted to pave my own way.
It chose itself for me, and I knew at a more pre-intellectual level that this was the place.
And one of my favorite things and my favorite takeaways of this place has been the community.
I've been lucky to experience what learning is like at other institutions, and I'm very thankful that I did that because that completely changed my perception of Swarthmore. It made me realize that Swarthmore is special in these very small and unique ways that actually make an enormous difference.
The reason I'm so involved on campus is because I feel like the things that I do here matter. You can actually enact meaningful change.
When you're walking around campus, like I don't feel like I'm just walking by a bunch of strangers, and being in these smaller settings, like it gives you the opportunity to build strong relationships with people that also have like a vested personal interest in who you are as a person.
It totally tailors itself to like every type of person. You can come here and be anywhere on any spectrum, and you'll be pretty well welcomed.
You'll find that the people here are here for you. I was able to find really good, deep personal growth. And Swarthmore has been that formative experience that the community allows me to have that space that I can have that growth.
I have incredible mentors who have helped me at every step of the way, which I'm really thankful for. And I don't think I would have that same type of individualized attention and recognition at a place that's not Swarthmore.
that as recently as 7 years ago could not have envisioned this, but in succession, every year has been a record-setting year.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things, ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it.
Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader. And I think that was something I had the capability of doing. And forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out to community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most. Preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot, so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face. You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop. High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
Let's do this. Omri number. There he is. He's running. Numero ocho.
Welcome back for second half action here on Wednesday Night Soccer between the St. Mary's College Seahawks and the Swarthmore Garnet. 1-0 your score right now. Jacob Brady and Santi Caicedo on the call here on the Garnet Sports Network. And Santi, what are you looking to see from the Garnet coming out of the gate here if they want to make their way back into this game?
You know, I'm looking probably to see a little bit of patience. They still have 45 minutes to go, and they don't want to make any silly mistakes because they're just rushing it. I feel if they continue kind of with the pressure that they started in the half and keep forcing those mistakes that they were forcing from that back line, you know, the short clearances, the bad passes, mostly from the center backs, they'll be able to fashion some opportunities. In terms of just kind of building, they need more patience. There's a lot of times they're charging forward and there's not enough support, and then the attacks just fizzle out. They need to kind of throw a few more bodies on the ball, and on defense just kind of keep doing what they were doing at the back end of the half, you know, excluding the goal, but they really were able to stop those over-the-top through balls. They really were able to kind of eliminate that threat a little bit. And so that's something they should continue doing because St. Mary's can and will take advantage of any space they're given.
Garnet Garnet trying to get out of their own end as St. Mary's has kept it down there for the past minute. Cleared up ahead, trying to get it to Tumushabe. According to Aaron Tannenbaum in the comments section of our YouTube stream, the Garnet have played spoiler to St. Mary's over the past couple years in terms of preventing them from going undefeated in the preseason prior to the start of conference play. We'll see potentially if the Garnet can break that streak, or excuse me, if the Seahawks can break that streak this year. 1-0 your score right now, a goal from Khalid Balogun. The difference so far, here he is trying to get around Harry Nevins, and he does, and played it behind McRoby as he was trying to cut up the wing.
I know, great move there by Balogun, but just a miscommunication between him and McRoby. McRoby took off towards the wing. Balogun expected him to take down through the middle, and Swarthmore get the ball back.
Tumushabe spinning back into the middle. Looks like he got held by Panton. So it'll be a free kick for the Garnet. They'll go quick to Io George, back to Shin. He'll play it over to Nevins. And now they'll look up the sideline to Gross. To Gall. Trying to find something in there. Good pass in to Barilli, the give and go. Switch that out wide to George. And over the head of Barilli. Low ball through. Push out wide by Bradley. Here's George. Side of the box, lifted across. Barilli trying to get on it. Tumushabe takes a shot. That got deflected. I thought it was in. Apparently not. Cleared off the line.
And cries for a goal from the Swarthmore team and fans as the referee gives a corner. That's the kind of attack you want from Swarthmore. You see no one there really able to get it out for St. Mary's. And Swarthmore will be hoping to take advantage of this corner after that possible missed call.
Chance from the corner, and it gets deflected back. Another corner for the Garnet.
And just here from our angle, it's impossible to really conclude whether that shot fully crossed the line or not, but it did seem close.
Gross crosses it back in. Paolini the save at the back post.
And a great job there by Bless Tumushabe to get his head on that. Literally headed the ball backwards, but a spectacular save from Paolini, who looked like he wasn't going to make it, really.
The Garnet doing everything in their power at the moment to get this ball past Patrick Paolini. He has stood his ground so far. Another chance from the corner, and Michael Gross once again delivering it. The outswinger headed to the back post, and it's Harry Nevins with the goal, tied 1-1.
Goal from Swarthmore College.
And what a goal from Harry Nevins. Gets his first of the season in spectacular fashion.
And just a great job to win that header and put it into the furthest corner, and now it's 1-1. And I kind of had a feeling that there was no way Swarthmore wasn't escaping that sequence of play without a goal. They had 3 straight corners. No one could really get the ball out of the box for St. Mary's, and Harry Nevins rose to the occasion.
Kalinowski trying to get it up ahead to Panton. Nevins is there. And what an effort tonight from Harry Nevins. Playing as a center back, and then that time coming up into the box and redirecting home for the Garnet. They tie this game up 5 minutes in to the second half.
Now, it will be interesting to see how Swarthmore adjusts. Trevor Homestead came off earlier in the first half due to injury, and now it appears that Woojin Shin has kind of replaced him as the holding midfielder, with Omri Gal taking over as creative midfielder. Cross delivered there by Lanyon, but into the hands of Paolini. So Woo Jin Shin, who usually plays a more creative role in this offense and on this Garnet team, going to be interesting to see how he does there. Called for the foul, and the referee...
Yeah, looks like that's going to be a cautioning for Shin as the referee stops the clock. He goes over to make sure that Balogun's all right, make sure Balogun knows that there was no intent in that slightly late challenge. And the referee does reach into his pocket. So 2 Garnet players now sitting on yellows in Ben Lau and Woo Jin Shin.
No, absolutely the right decision there by the referee. Woo Jin Shin kind of had that high leg up, and it looked like he made contact with Balogun's knee. Could have been dangerous. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt, but good cautioning by the referee.
So it'll be a free kick for St. Mary's. This one arcing into the box. Balogun gets underneath it. And
Panton is called for the push-off on Joey Barilli.
Thought McRoby might have had a chance on that ball if he had decided to go up for it. Instead, waited for it to settle for Panton. Ben Lau with the long switch to Gross. Barilli trying to spin upfield, and he gets kicked in the hamstring, I think. And referee once again calling a player over. Or actually, pardon me, just respotting the ball.
He's telling Omri Gal to take his time on the kick and wait for the whistle, but Omri clearly, I think, was looking for a fast kick, or else he really wouldn't have had any complaint. And now Michael Gross is asking for the referee to stop the clock.
And so a yellow now for Aiden Kelly as this game starting to get a little chippy. 2 quick yellows early on in the second half. They'll put some more time back on the clock. 38:52 left to play. And Gross talking with the ref there is, I guess, unhappy by that decision for him to stop play to award the card. They tried to go quick, obviously, so spoiling the opportunity for the Garnet to go on the counter. And Balogun gets the block.
I don't believe he had the full 10 yards there, but good job to block Gross's cross there. And, you know, if the referee doesn't caution him, then what reason does he have to move back?
Nevins plays it forward to Gross as the Garnet once again trying to work it out from the back. Shin looking long, and it's popped up into the air off the foot of Kelly. Tumushabe.
Good touch by Tumushabe.
Able to settle. Tumushabe looking for the shot. Just wide. Paolini, though, was there.
Good job by Tumushabe there to settle. I think he may have had an opportunity to shoot just a second earlier. Decided to take the touch, but good opportunity there for the Garnet off Woo Jin Shin's deflected pass. And there you see Woo Jin Shin kind of drop into the center back position so that Harry Nevins can look to win the header. And now Nevins will run back to his position. Good recovery there by Gross.
Gross with a good step up. Gets taken down by Balogun. They do manage to go quick this time. Barilli up the wing. He's got Kelly on him, but Barilli trying to find the edge. Crosses it back. Oh, a missed volley from Joey Bradley as he had that one on a platter for him.
It's also unfortunate to see there. Swarthmore only had one person in the middle. The reason you're taking this quick free kick is to try and get that delivery into the box, but you need bodies in the box to finish it off. Joey Bradley there.
Oh, what a save.
And a rocket of a shot there by Woo Jin Shin. Great save, though, by Paolini. Good reflexes to get up and save that. But look, there was literally no one there for the delivery except for Bradley, who wasn't able to make contact, but
Paolini unhappy.
Really need more bodies in the box.
Paolini unhappy with his defense there that allowed Shin to take that rocket of a shot. Kick is up and into the hands of Paolini.
Great save there by Paolini once again. Just Maybe Shin had looked for the far post. He would have had a lot more space. It seemed like Paolini was basically camped out on that left post.
Lau able to keep it in, trying to get it forward to George. And now Kelly pushing it forward. Balogun's got it out wide. Balogun trying to pick his way through to the middle, the give and go with
Good step
Brad
there by
Moore.
Lau, but Balogun keeps it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is fantastic in possession. Hindle does well to get his body in the way, but it will be a throw for the Garnet. Barilli gets it quick into Bradley. And all the Garnet forwards clustered along this left side.
Right now they need more options on the wing. You know, Io George has to make sure he's kind of keeping himself, maybe not all the way against the line, but in that kind of situation, he does need to be a little further out,
Lanyon
just in case someone looks to switch.
Took a shot that block, lifted in for Barilli, headed back for the back post that settled down. Bradley trying to get onto it. Now it's cleared away.
And once again, another situation where St. Mary's can't quite get the ball out. I love that lob pass by Gal, but Barilli's header just a little too strong for Tumashabi to reach.
Lanyon trying to push it back into the box. Shin is there, gets it to Gal. Omri over his head. Barilli will settle. Back to Gal. Here Michael makes his defender miss.
Gross puts it in. Oh!
Panton up ahead. We'll see if he can start the counter. Nevins with a good step. Bradley trying to stay on it.
Tumashabi drops well to get that ball back.
Played out wide now to George. George trying to step his way through. Tumushabe on it. Go out the back. Goal kick.
Tumashabi couldn't quite get control of that ball, but it's impressive how Swarthmore had the ball in the attacking third for a while there. Couldn't really get the shot they wanted, but that's the kind of situation they need to put themselves in. Kind of really push that defense, find space in the wings, and get those balls into the middle, because it seems to be causing some problems from the St. Mary's defense, and at the very least, they haven't been able to clear it very well. That could lead to an outside-of-the-box shot for one of the midfielders.
Balogun was fighting there. Panton commits the foul on Gall, and the Garnet will take it quick.
And I mean, if my calculations are correct there, Panton's already been called for 4 or 5 fouls. At this point, even if the foul isn't poorly intentioned, he does have to receive some sort of warning, because he can't keep fouling Swarthmore players like this.
Nevins plays it out wide to Lanyon. And they'll continue just to pass it around the horn at the back. Nevins goes long up the sideline.
A spectacular run by Gross.
What a pass to Gross, plays it in, just looking for Barilli. Hindle taken by Gross. Gross not able to keep it in at the end line.
Hindle there has been all over the midfield, really making recoveries. A good job by Gross to get the ball back after his first pass was blocked, but Hindle's really just kind of been impressive defensively, and now
so Balogun coming off pretty early on here. Looks like they'll try to give him a rest. I imagine he'll be back on within the next 10 minutes or so. Akobo back onto the field, who did very well for himself replacing him. It's put up ahead for Akobo. And now Nevins boots it all the way back upfield. Breslauer sends it long, looking for McRoby. It's a great run from him. Tries to settle in the box and puts that wide.
And that's a good job by McRoby to get the shot off under pressure. But once again, this is the first time it's happened this half. St. Mary's really able to get a good through ball over the top of the Swarthmore defense, and that's something they had been able to kind of stop late in the first half, but really kind of they need to take care of here going forward in the second.
Lau passes it all the way down. Look at the speed from Tumushabe. Able to keep it in. What a job from him. Now he cuts into the box, tries to square it up just too far in front of Barilli. Shin fighting underneath it. And that's Panton getting whistled as Shin goes down.
And Panton is in disbelief with that call, but I mean, I did see him extend his arm a little, and he does need to be careful. You know, he's had a very good game, a lot of recoveries and some great passes. However, he has 5 or 6 fouls by now, and I'm surprised the referee has decided not to caution him here.
It looks like he now is.
Oh. And that'll be a yellow card for Rashawn Panton.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of felt that it had to come eventually with the way that he was playing in this game.
Still, he's definitely been the most impressive of St. Mary's midfielders. Great kind of recoveries, great instinct for the ball, and really he's made a couple of really nice through balls. You know, some of those dangerous balls that have troubled Swarthmore this game have come from him. But he does need to watch out now that he's on that first yellow, and he goes right back in with another hit. Referee makes zero real sign that he saw it, but especially now that he has a yellow card, he does need to be a little more careful.
Good step up by Gall, trying to play through Barilli. Too strong on that.
Looked like he may have been looking for Tumashabi, but Tumashabi thought he was going to take the shot and just stopped running.
Now coming upfield is Kelly. Good job by Shin. Plays it forward to Barilli. Tumushabe coming over a little bit too tight. Shin able to spin back to it in the middle. Tried to get it forward to George.
And I like the idea that Shin had there for that pass, but he did have enough space to really look for a shot or push forward a little more. But unfortunately, that pass wasn't able to get through to George.
Lannion back to Lau. And they'll complete the swing around to Gross. Gross able to get through some legs. Bradley with the push. Yeah, I mean, he's surprised by that call, but anytime you extend the arms like that, that's
an easy call.
Yeah.
And Joey Bradley, kind of like a bit of the team hothead, has gotten himself into a couple of situations with the referee, so he does need to watch out a little bit. He doesn't want to get a yellow card for dissent.
And clock being stopped. Again, I think Panton is getting another talking to.
I'm not quite sure what that was about.
Yeah, I mean, he was already shown the yellow, I believe, and now head coach Eric Wagner having a conversation with the referee down on the field. This game has
not quite sure what's happening right now. Just stalled.
Yeah. Quickly broken down into back and forth whistles. Now it looks like Wagner was unhappy with the fact that maybe the referee wasn't stopping the clock, or I'm not sure if that's what the discussion was about, but now they seem to have figured out their differences, for now at least. And Kalinowski will take the free kick. Gross, good job getting in front of it, but it goes back to Corvalan. Out wide, Breslauer. Held by the center backs. Back and forth between Barlow and Kalinowski. Now Barlow comes forward and is trying to play it to Akobo. Lau sends it away upfield. Tumushabe trying to get to it. Kalinowski is the first there. Now settles for Io George. Push back down. Trying to play it through the back lines. McRoby making a run. Lannion gets there position-wise defensively. Sent across too far for Moore. Has to chase it all the way out of the box. Reset it. Kelly crossing it in. Akobo trying to get onto it.
Good job by Lau to step up and block that cross.
George, contact from Hindle, and that earns the whistle and the free kick. Gross now. Plays it up ahead to Tumushabe. Goes out. Garnet throw.
Now Connor Gill will check in for the Garnet, replacing Io George as number 23. Josh Luongo replaces Rashawn Panton, who was just recently cautioned by the referee. I think it's a good decision there by Coach Lune Oliver to remove Panton. I mean, normally after you get a yellow card, the first thing you do is calm down a little, but Panton's first decision was to enter another bit of a risky tackle there and put his position in this game at risk.
St. Mary's trying to get out of their end, but played back. And actually, not a huge number of fouls in this game compared to some that I've seen. 14 for the Seahawks, 9 for the Garnet.
Poor job there. Good save there by Oliver Steinglass, bailing out Ben Lau, who had just lost the ball.
Kobo with an absolute laser there. Cross back into the box. McRoby fighting for
very
position.
Clearly just tugging on, and he asked the lineman about something, but there was really no doubt there, and now Michael Gross is on the ground.
Just looks like a cramp as Nevin's trying to stretch out his leg, and Nevin's signaling to the referee that Gross is all right. Yeah, just cramp. They'll stop the clock and signal over.
And the referee stops the clock, but it appears that Harry Nevins and Michael Gross aren't too happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, Nevin's just saying, look, we're just working out a cramp, but it's now Gross back up on his feet. And play restarts. Nevin's with it. Booms it up the left flank, and Barilli just can't get the controlling touch on. Another inch-perfect ball from Harry Nevins. Gall stays on it. Massive blue jerseys along this left sideline.
Oh, good job there by Gross to get past the defender.
Gall in traffic, works it back to Shin. Now pushed over the top. Cleared back up the sideline. Gall is there, back onto this ball. Searching around. Gross has his pass blocked, and Tumushabe too much into the back of Hindle.
And that entire passage of play, Connor Gill was on the right wing, pleading for a switch. Swarthmore does need to get into that habit a little more. They kind of get trapped on one side, and then the entire mass of St. Mary's defenders just kind of falls on them, and there's no real real chance for them on that side, and there's no cover on the other. A switch right there could completely just expose the St. Mary's defense.
If there was anybody there, which there hasn't been. Crossed up looking for McRoby. He fights for it. Loses it out of bounds, but actually a Seahawks throw. Kelly. Kalinowski now over the top. Gross is there, but his header goes out the back, so a corner now for St. Mary's. I believe their first of this second half. Game tied 1-1 right now. Goal scorers are Balogun for the Seahawks and Harry Nevins for the Garnet. But first, this free kick for Jacob Breslauer.
Deliver it.
Good delivery there towards the back post, but can't be directed at goal.
And a good clearance there by Nevins to get it out quickly.
It'll go back into the Garnet end. Lannion's got it down near the sideline. Hindle trying to push it back forward. And it'll go out of bounds for a Seahawks throw. Moore trying to dodge through. He gets fouled. Free kick. Pretty good spot for the Seahawks, about 25 yards out on the left wing.
Swarthmore will be happy that Khalid Balogun right now is on the bench. That man is a big aerial threat, and just having him resting right now is a little bit of a respite for this defense.
Yeah, 6'4", I believe he is taller than every Garnet player.
He looks like he is.
I think Steinglass might be 6'2", 6'3". Ben Lau also up there, but Balogun definitely with an inch on everybody else. Drilled in. Nevins able to get the head on out of the box, so a throw for St. Mary's. Moore was going to take it, instead leaves it off for, for Kelly. Strong throw headed out by Gross and now sent all the way down by Gill. Tumushabe trying to pick his way through.
Good job, and he has Connor Gill racing down free.
Joey Bradley also there. Barilli along with him as well. Leaves it off behind now for Gall. To Bradley. Gall again. Crosses it. Connor Gill is there at the back post. Saved by Paolini.
A good delivery there, but Connor Gill just can't get enough power, and Paolini takes care of it fairly easy. Tumushabe could have had Gill running absolutely free on that break. Maybe just waited a little too long to release the ball.
Paolini booms it downfield. McRoby trying to spin back onto it. Instead, Lannion able to get the clearance. And Gill that whole time calling for service, and until Gall not being noticed. McRoby now cutting in. Flag is up.
That was a good pass there by Akobo, but McRoby just offside. The linesman eyes. Could have been very dangerous there.
Lau plays it sideways to Gross. Now back to Nevins. Here's Gross along the near sideline. Barilli completely free. Barilli cutting in now. Back to Gall. Play back to the sideline. Now settled back with Nevins. Didn't quite get as much on that ball as he wanted, but it's able to get to Gill. Tumushabe. Couple blue jerseys around him. And now Gross steps upfield to take that back. Gets it out wide to Barilli.
And Swarthmore looking a lot more comfortable in offense this half, at least. In possession, getting the ball, keeping it, but still can't find that winner.
Balogun now preparing to come back on alongside Charlie Ward and Quentin Millett. It's with the Garnet back line. Nevins leads it forward to Gross. Takes it along the near sideline into the middle. Made Barilli run for it, and it's taken away by the Seahawks. Kelly back to Hindle. It's behind Breslauer, but he's able to keep it in. Tried to play it up the far sideline, but Lanyon was there. Shin now able to not quite.
And it looks like Burley just gave up right before he realized he could make it, and he'll be taken off for Quinton Millette as Charlie Ward replaces Joey Bradley.
Barilli with a very active day up and down this left sideline. But they'll bring on the fresh legs of Millette, see what he can do.
And Josh McRoby is replaced as Michael Gross is called for a handball there.
So Akobo and Balogun alongside Brad Moore as the forwards for St. Mary's. For the Garnet, it's Tumushabe with Gill and Millette.
Stepping into the game for St. Mary's, number 10, Khalid Balogun. And in for Swarthmore, number 7, Quentin Millette. And number 10, Charlie.
Kalinowski preparing to take this free kick. Just past midfield, about
and Millette there was trying to do the same thing that Khalid Balogun did to
Akobo gets blocked. And Gill, able to clear it away.
And right there was a big chance for St. Mary's, just based on the fact that Swarthmore couldn't really get the ball out of their own box, and it just shows the danger that has been presented for both teams, really. I mean, mostly it's been St. Mary's having issues getting the ball out, but right there was a pretty solid chance for the Seahawks.
Gross with it, up ahead to Shin. They'll play it back to Nevins, the center half. And he plays it up ahead for Gall along the near sideline. Gets it just past midfield. Millett, hard pressure in the back. Gall has it taken away from him by Akobo. Ward fighting to get it back. Balogun now with it, and Shin has to get it to it quickly. Lanyon. Ward lets it go all the way past him. Tumushabe down for a second, but back up on his feet. Ward able to get the ball back.
Now it's starting to look a little chaotic. Both teams just kind of pushing it forward and then getting pushed back and then pushing it forward again, and kind of those possession-based moments that Swarthmore's having have kind of disappeared in the last couple minutes.
That time it was Lanyon going over the top looking for Tumushabe. It's pushed into the middle for Hindle. Has to find his way back to that ball. Kaliniski. Out wide. Here's Hindle. Plays it back to Kaliniski. Able to find the window to Moore. Now the Seahawks start to creep forward. Corvalon. Gets it out to Breslauer. Here's a cross looking for Balogun. Too tall. Yeah, if only he was 6'10 and not 6'4, he would have been all over that ball.
Yeah, it's rare to see a ball go over his head, but Corvalon just put a little too much on that pass as he was looking to get the goal to take the lead for the Seahawks.
Nevins tried to get it out wide to Gross, but behind him.
And Kelly's judged to have led the ball just out. It'll be a throw-in for the Garnet.
15 minutes left in this one. Still tied up 1-1. So Gross taking the throw along the near side. Back and forth with Gall. Now he'll switch as Lanyon tracks back to it. Losing the space advantage. And now Lau goes over the top. Millette is there. Millette alongside Gill. Cleared up field. Shin gets it back down. Gall able to hold. Now Shin into the path of Gross.
Once again, a good step there by Hindle to block the pass out.
Yeah, Gross trying to play it through a tight window. Millette fighting with Kelly. Brad Moore up ahead. Balogun almost controlled.
And that ball just not placed very well. Couldn't really get a handle on it. And now Swarthmore looked to push forward as Lanyon decides to kind of go for it. Gets the pass off well.
Tumushabe is there. Connor Gill now switching with him. Gill in the middle, Tumushabe out wide, and loses it to Brad Moore. Charlie Ward, or pardon me, that's
recovery
Gill
there
on
by
it.
Gill.
Yeah, Gall into the path of Gross. Millette spinning back onto his right foot. Instead gives it back to Gall. Out of bounds off of Akobo. And Io George coming back into this game, replacing
Connor Gill.
Connor Gill, yeah. So adding pace down the right side allows Tumushabe
And Rashawn Panton will also come on for St. Mary's, replacing Brad Moore. He'll look to stabilize things in the midfield a little bit. Neither team has really controlled the ball much in the last few minutes. It's been a lot of kind of long balls and just running after it, but Panton would look to kind of establish the order a little bit again.
Important note, Panton sitting on a yellow card has had some trouble committing unnecessary fouls in this one. Akobo trying to get the touch over Nevins. He plays it back to his keeper, Steinglass.
And almost is able to block Steinglass's return pass to Nevins, but good job by Steinglass there.
Nevins looking long. Tumushabe trying to get underneath. Instead, Kalinowski is there. Forward for Panton. He tries to make the run on, but Nevins gets to it first. George can't get it back. Hindle takes it away from him. Hindle to Breslauer. Breslauer overlapping, continues his run up the sideline, now played back to Corvalon. Luongo.
Good little exchange there by those two.
Trying to push it through. Akobo was making the run on the far side of the Garnet defense. Lanyon plays it out of bounds.
Lanyon ran to recover that so it wouldn't go out for a corner, and instead missed the pass a little and it went out for a throw.
Crossed in, looking for Balogun, but too far ahead of him, and Nevins directs it away. Kept in by Kelly, trying to step around Millette.
Millette kind of grabbing onto his arm a little. That should be a call. The referee doesn't give it. Bit of a missed call there.
Forward into the path of Millett, and now they'll send it down for Tumushabe. Look at the speed from him. Tumushabe cutting back onto his right foot. Can't curl that back in towards the back post.
Great run there by Bless Tumushabe. Tried to cut in. Maybe could have gotten one more touch on the ball before trying to take the shot. Just couldn't get enough curl on it, as Joey Barilli will now come on and replace Quentin Millette.
And just that sprint speed, absolutely absurd from Bless Tumushabe. You see the arms and the legs flying, almost a blur, and nearly gave the Garnet a second.
That was a great opportunity. He'll definitely be wishing he could take that back a little bit, but
Lau into the path of Gross.
got to move on and wait for the next chance.
Hindle. And a good step up by Shin.
Now, interesting, you have both center midfielders, Omri Gal and Charlie Ward, pushing up to join the attack, as Io will try to get across into the box, and it just goes past Omri Gal.
Io George trying to set something up for the trequartista. And now Gall will come off for Bradley. So Homestead has been out this entire second half, but Shin, Bradley, Gall, and Ward all stepping up in his place.
And Homestead now in pants and a long sleeve shirt, as he seems to be done for the evening. Hopefully, at least he's standing, sitting down. Seems to be able to move fairly well. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, still has his cleats on, so
yes.
Seems to be ready to go. Kalaniski. And that looks like it went out from Kelly. It did. Throw for the Garnet just past midfield. Barilli didn't like what he saw and left it for Gross.
Ward wins the header, but no one there on the other side.
Good step up by Bradley. Hindle fighting with Ward takes him down.
And the referee will call it in Swarthmore's favor. Seemed to be a good call. A clean challenge there by Charlie Ward, and Hindle just seems to have fallen on him.
Sort of wrapped him up there and goes down. So Ward now, this is his range if he decides to shoot for goal. Instead, he'll go quick. Barilli making the run up the left side. Barilli able to get into the box, gets pushed off by Balogun.
And the referee will call a goal kick. Good job by Barilli to get past the first defender, but great job by Balogun to step in there and get Barilli off the ball.
Yeah, was a little bit aggressive with the shoulder, but the ref had a clear view of it and clearly didn't see enough in that, so goal kick.
And right there, Balogun wins the header against Joey Bradley. I think we know who's winning that battle every time.
But Bradley back on the ball, plays it out to Lannian. And that's Akobo who pushes into the back.
And he says he was going for the ball, but it didn't appear that he got the ball, and Bradley's still on the ground. As he has a word with the ref, but the ref does not look like he'll be stopping the clock. As Bradley, I apologize, gets up.
See, it is confusing.
A little bit, yeah.
Led forward into the path of Gross. To Mushabe trying to hold it up. Nearly wins it back on that challenge. Back to Ben Lau. He's got Lannian pretty free. Instead he'll play it back to his fellow center half Nevins. Now Gross. Trying to find the space. Gross into the path of Barilli. He'll continue his run. Now turns back, crosses it. Cleared out of the box.
I like that pass into the box there by Barilli, as the referee will call a foul on Nevins.
Balogun able to win the free kick along the near sideline inside Garnet territory.
But a good job there by Barilli to get the ball into the middle. Just the defender had a step over the recipient, and I'd also like to point out Michael Gross is having a much better game on offense now in the second half than he did at the beginning. You know, he's really kind of gotten over those early miscues with the passes and is now kind of flowing pretty well with whoever's on the field, be it Quentin Millette or Joey Barilli at winger.
Just over 5 minutes left. That ball right at Steinglass from the leg of Breslauer. Tries to get Barilli going quickly. Breslauer plays it out of bounds. Throw for the Garnet. Gross sends it back to Nevins. He looks for the cross-field pass to Lannian. George on it into the path of Shin. Shin had Gross free up the far sideline, instead went with the safer pass back to Nevins. Bradley coming into the middle to Mushabe, the give and go. And now Gross again tries to fire it back through. Go out of bounds, but it is a corner for the Garnet. We're inside 5 minutes. The Garnet scored their lone goal of the night off of a corner. Can they do it again as Michael Gross prepares to deliver this ball? Women's soccer team warming up, preparing for their 9 o'clock practice. Good delivery from Gross. Paolini gets a hand on, punch that away.
The referee calls a free kick on Paolini. Seems to have made contact with one of the forwards in the box. And instead of another corner, it'll be a free kick for the Garnet.
Paulini passes it out to Breslauer. Balogun trying to control smaller Shin behind him. Gets it around Shin. Now Akobo. Panton making the run. Instead played back to Longo. Here's Hindle to Longo, and Kalaniski now going over the top. Balogun trying to get onto this ball. Balogun heads it. Saved by Steinglass.
Good job by Steinglass to keep his hands on the ball as, well, Felix Lanning there was beaten for pace and height, and Ben Lau couldn't quite get his head on the ball. And a good over-the-top ball there, and now it's Barilli.
Side of the box trying to cut in, trying to get it to the top for Ward.
Oh, and a bit of a... could have been a situation there as both Paulini and the center back were looking to get the ball.
Bradley passing it to Tumushabe, trying to stand his ground in the corner. Tumushabe, he has Bradley trying to overlap with him. Panton gets it up ahead to Akobo. Nevins with the good step
by Nevins there, because if he hadn't gotten a touch on that ball, Balogun would have been home free basically against Steinglass.
Able to get it across to Lannion, now into the path of Gross.
And Gross misplaces that one, seemed to have accidentally slipped as he was trying to make his pass. A good ball there by Kelly.
Akobo, he's got Balogun alongside him. It does find Balogun. Ben Lau on him. Ben Lau, good job. Balogun still on it.
Oh, what could have been a very dangerous counterattack. Very well done by Ben Lau to shut that down. Good pass by Akobo to find Balogun making the run, and a better pass by Tumushabe, who found Barilli.
Io George there as well. George just had to wait too long. Barilli trying to spin back onto his left foot. Barilli, and loses it.
And the Garnet took too long there. A spectacular pass by Tumushabe to find Barilli. And Barilli looking to be selfless, pass it over to George. I think he might have wanted to take a shot there if he had the chance again, but good job by the Garnet fashioning a chance right after Khalid Balogun got so close himself.
Inside 2 minutes now in regulation. Kelly with the throw along the near side. He'll have another as Gross heads it out of bounds. Gross wins it again. No call as Balogun pushes him down. He was looking for a Kobo forward, and Ben Lau plays it well. Lau clears back up ahead. Tumushabe able to win the header. Doesn't quite get to George.
And Ward can't get a good control of that with space around him, and now it's
Corvalon.
Corvalon. Sorry, couldn't really see there. Good recovery there by Woojin Shin.
1 minute remaining in the second half.
Charlie Ward will send the long ball. Doesn't quite get to Tumushabe. Kalaniski is there.
Good job there by Kalaniski to intercept that pass, because there, I think that would have been a goal. Tumushabe would have been alone against the keeper.
Hindle with it. Final 40 seconds of regulation. Balogun trying to spin, gets around Gross. Nevins, did he get enough of a touch on? Akobo, the shot blocked by Lannion.
A good job there by Balogun to get past both Nevins and Gross.
Bradley just boots it all the way down. Here's Barilli trying to get in. Joe Barilli still on it, takes a shot. Saved by Paolini.
And a good job there by Paolini to make the save. And a good job as well by Kalinowski to keep Barilli away from the ball.
Kelly leads it out of bounds, and with that, regulation will end, but still overtime left to play. An instant classic here on the third Wednesday of the season. Swarthmore and St. Mary's tied 1-1 at the end of regulation. We'll be back for the first period of overtime in just a couple minutes. Back-to-back overtime games for the Garnet. First was against Eastern. That was a win thanks to a Joe Baroli wonder goal in double overtime. And a chance again tonight for the Garnet to take down a nationally ranked opponent. It would give them a 6-0 start. I'm sure they'd have to be in the conversation for a national ranking, at least might garner some votes next week. St. Mary's will start with the ball. Jacob Brady and Santi Caicedo here on the Garnet Sports Network with the call. And Santi, what an exciting final 5 minutes of that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams were making great runs, getting behind defenders, and then just at the last second having their crosses shots cleared. And really, it's been an exciting last few minutes. Hopefully, it'll continue that way. Swarthmore, who last year had some trouble closing out overtime games, showed last week that they could do it against Eastern, and hopefully they'll be able to do it again.
Panton trying to cut through. Goes to McRoby, far side of the box. McRoby gets around Gross. Nevins there to clear it. Barilli takes the touch. Hindle is on him. Hindle tugging along and be brought back for a free kick.
Good job there from Barilli to get past Hindle, but a pretty smart tactical foul there from Hindle, although it seems he might get booked. And as the referee asks for the clock to be stopped, he'll have a word with Hindle and give him a yellow card there.
So the fifth cautioning of the night. Overall, 2 for the Garnet in Ben Lau and Woojin Shin. 3 for St. Mary's in Panton, Hindle, and forgetting the third
I'm not
now.
sure who got the third yellow card.
But it's put over the top from the leg of Gross. And Shin with the touch goes back to Balogun, however. Lau and Akobo fighting for it. Lau able to get to it. And now Bradley makes the turn back upfield.
It's a good job there by Lau to recover the ball after Balogun was able to get on the end of Shin's flick back. Also good effort there by Woojin Shin to kind of come back and try to make up for that slight mistake. And right there, Akobo trying to do the same thing that Shin was doing, straight into the feet of Lanyon.
Ben Lau will dribble his way forward. It goes long for Tumushabe. Now George gets it to Ward. Has to play it back to Bradley. George in the middle. Gets dropped by Hindle to Mushabe. Trying to spin on Ward now. Around the edge. Ward crosses it back.
Good job by Hindle getting that cross out.
George, another ball into the box, and it's headed away. Panton's got it. Ekobo out and running now, trying to play it through to Balogun. Shin with the good step. George now to Bradley.
And I have to say, Shin's done very well since taking that holding midfielder position, save for the yellow card against Balogun, which was a bit of a risky challenge, but he's been very solid defensively, and that's really good because, you know, this holding defender position is so crucial for Swarthmore. Not only does he defend, but he also brings the ball up the field and distributes to the wingers, and very good job by Shin tonight.
Here he is on the ball, passes out wide to Lanyon, who has room for a couple steps upfield. To Mushabe, well defended by Breslauer. Lanyon cutting through, gets past Balogun. Lanyon, that took a hit off the arm of Corvalon, yeah, and that's a free kick for the Garnet in a very dangerous spot.
And the Garnet will like this position for the free kick. Looks like Charlie Ward will be the player to take it, and he's got a shot.
Yeah, if he can just keep this ball down. See if he can curl it around that wall, as it looks like Paolini will set up at the far post. He's got, if he can just curl it, got a whole lot of real estate on that right side. Whistle blows, Ward sets up, and just too far underneath it once again. Trying to curl it and get it to dip, but dip it would not.
Yeah, and he just kind of blasted that ball. They haven't really been able to get their free kicks on target today, and that's a bit of a chance wasted there for the Garnet.
Paolini, a little bit of a short kick. Bradley able to get his head on. Now George. Bradley gets it back into the midfield. Here's Shin. Gets it to Barilli, the head on.
And Shin's ball just a little too high and too strong for Barilli to get a hold of. Valiant effort trying to reach it with the head, but just a bit too much on that.
Garnet throw from the far sideline. Gross goes back to Nevins. Balogun there with
Good
the
recovery
takeaway.
there from Balogun. He has no one in the box.
Balogun just trying to hold it up, loses it out of bounds. Goal kick.
And Nevins will be thanking his lucky stars that there was no one in the box, because Balogun had a great opportunity to cross after stealing the ball from him, and with no support, the ball was just able to be... They were able to force him out the back.
Good
control there by Tumushabe.
Nicely lofted pass to Tumushabe. Gets it taken off him by Corvalon. Ekobo with the touch along the near sideline. Back to Corvalon. With Bradley on him. Panton now. Nobody on the other end of that ball.
Lau. Move there by Lau.
Pushing up.
Can't get his pass to Ward, though.
McRoby into the path of Corvalon, fighting with Bradley for it. Now Ward aggressing. Breslauer going over the top for Balogun. Balogun trying to get the touch with his foot. Steinglass has to grab it.
And a good touch there by Balogun to get the ball past Nevins, just with that one move, but excellent job by Steinglass to charge out and really save the chance, because that might have been game right there had Steinglass not made it through.
Nevins with heavy touch. Go back for a Seahawks throw. Kelly will take it to Hindle. Corvalon. A few white jerseys around him. He'll pass it back to Barlow. Breslauer with service to Balogun. It's over the head of Nevins, the driving header. And a foul called.
And
Foul in the
Swarthmore
box.
is very lucky there. The cross bounced in, and the referee just calls a foul there. I'm not quite sure what it was.
Looks like he was showing somebody got elbowed.
See a good delivery there by the left back, and and you see on the header just a shove in on Michael Gross.
Yeah, McRoby there just with the elbow into the back of Gross.
And a good call by the referee. However, that's the second time that happened. On the goal, the ball also got past the defender trying to make the clearance and straight onto the path of the striker. Swarthmore can't let that happen, or else it's just absolutely just a dangerous thing. And really they're lucky, because if McRoby hadn't put his hands on Gross, he still probably would have had his header anyway, and that would have been a goal.
So the Garnet with a new chance at life. Ben Lau, long upfield to Barilli. Gets back onto his ball. Barilli trying to force it through to George. Ward controls. Ward, the shot!
Oh, it's off the post.
Oh my, Ward hitting the post there. Barilli low shot goes wide.
And a great effort there from Ward. Just rattles the post as Barilli's pass was able to make it through all the way. And he had been left absolutely open by himself by the defense. Really tried to get that through to George and bounced off the defender, and Charlie Ward just wasn't able to get it into the back of the net.
Forward to Barilli. Hindle able to play it back. And Kelly will work the switch to Breslauer. Lannion and Bradley fighting for it. And now Tumushabe controls, trying to step forward. He's got George wide. Bradley now making the run. Gets deflected. Back to Tumushabe. Shin around to Nevins. Plays the ball through. Here's Ward. Now Gross coming in. Gets it into the middle. Barilli looking for space.
And can't find Gross. Both teams really with some great opportunities.
A minute left in the first overtime. The rules are 2 periods of 10 minutes, but it is golden goal. So a goal here for either team will end the game. Bradley gets it forward to Ward. Plays it through off the outside of his foot to Barilli.
Good through ball to Barilli.
George and Tumushabe catching up now. Tumushabe trying to time it up. That's headed away by Hindle. Out of bounds. Garnet throw. Gross to Tumushabe. Shin into the path of Lannion. He's got acres of room. Gets deflected by Corvalon. Out of bounds. Throw for the Seahawks. Gets it into Panton. Now Corvalon down to 10 seconds.
9, 8.
Ekobo. McRoby trying to make the run, so he'll pass it to
And
Hindle.
a poor pass there from Ekobo. Ekobo would looked like he wanted to pull up there for a shot, but he had a couple seconds. He could have ran forward and then looked to shoot. Instead, tried to get it over to Hindle, and that just easily intercepted by Michael Gross there.
First 10 minutes up, still 1-1. Your score, both teams coming inches away from scoring. Actually, in one case, they did actually score, but McRoby committing the foul on Michael Gross, then Charlie Ward rattling the pipe work. 10 minutes left to play here. We'll be right back.
My uncle's watching the game on his TV back in Colombia. My uncle. He only showed up. He only saw the message at the beginning of OT, so he's only seen the OT period. But yeah, but still, it's been an intense OT period. So. Oh, I'd love to see that. Madrid got cooked today. Did you see that? Real Madrid. They lost 3-0 to PSG. Atletico tied in the 92nd minute against Juventus. Tottenham lost to Olympiacos of Greece. Look at Cuadrado's goal. Bang. Ooh. Not as good as Joe Brilli's, but still pretty solid. It's not pens, right? Like, if the second period of OT ends, it's a draw. What a god. Francis. I have no idea. I saw it during halftime.
A maximum of 10 minutes left of soccer here. Overtime 2 about to start. Jacob Brady and Santi Caicedo on the call for this thriller between Swarthmore and the nationally ranked St. Mary's Seahawks. Both teams coming into this game with an undefeated record. At least one of them must fall here. If neither can score after 10 minutes, it will end in a draw. Connor Gill is into the game. So he will, imagine, play all of these 10 minutes of second overtime. And the Garnet will start with the opening kickoff. And what a first overtime we had.
Absolutely. I mean, we had a disallowed goal, and we had Charlie Ward hit the post on the other side of the field. It's definitely a bit crazy, a little bit hectic right now. Both teams have enjoyed their shares of dominance in the game. You know, both teams have looked good. Both teams have looked kind of bad. I think, I'd say a draw is probably a fair result right now, but both teams really looking to find that winning goal in these last 10 minutes.
Joe Barilli is off, and I wish we had data for how far he had run in this game, because he was so active up and down the left wing, cutting in as well. What a game he had. Never managed to get a goal or an assist in this one and add to his 4-goal record for the Garnet, but still quite an impressive performance from the junior. Balogun able to save it along the far sideline near midfield, trying to cut in on Ward. Still Balogun takes the shot. Ben Lau is there.
Good run there by Balogun to get by Charlie Ward, but the shot pretty weak. Easy for Lau to save.
Here's Balogun again. Thought he was going to try to line it up. Instead, he plays back to Akobo. Lofted well over for a goal kick.
And Balogun seems to be attacking with intent to start off this half. Really pushing the team forward, and at least right now he's the furthest man upfield. Earlier he'd been dropping all the way to half field when his team was in possession. We'll see how it works out now for the Seahawks.
Gall headed it forward. Now it's cleared all the way down. Balogun alongside Lau. And now Nevins plays it upfield. George trying to get underneath. Hindle heads it forward. Corvalon. All the way up ahead. McRoby will get onto this ball down in the corner. Balogun awaiting service. Akobo is also there. Good play by Lau. Now here's Panton, takes a shot. Steinglass watches it go wide.
For a corner kick. And good job there by Ben Lau to step in with a tackle. Unfortunately, it landed right at the feet of another Seahawks attacker, and now they have another chance on this corner. Balogun looking to add to his 1 goal right now.
Breslauer with the service. Balogun now makes his run. Nevin's able to get the head on, but out of bounds. Another corner, looks like. Akobo went down inside the box. Breslauer lines it up on the other corner. Patterson Malcolm preparing to come into the game. Somebody got a head on it. Corvalon the shot. Deflected.
And another corner kick, but good job by George and Connor Gill to get in front of that one, or else Corvalon would have had a free shot on goal right there.
Took the Garnet 3 back-to-back-to-back corners to get the tying goal and a chance for the Seahawks to get the game winner. Steinglass able to get his hand on it. Corvalon hits it back overhead. Lau gets underneath to pop it out.
Tumushabi there. Clearly tripped up, but no calling. That might work in the Garnet's favor as Connor Gill
making a run.
Has
George
Io in the box.
Still Gill along the far side of the box. Now plays it back
to Gall.
Gall trying to get around the side. Gall still on it and plays it out the back. Corner for the Garnet.
Now we'll see the Garnet look to take the win. The short kick.
Quickly.
Connor Gill has one, and that'll fly over the bar.
Yeah. Gill learning from the Charlie Ward playbook that time. Seahawks trying to go quickly ahead. Tumushabe with the nice tackle. Still fighting for it.
And the referee calls it for playing on the ground. Good decision, but a good tackle there by Tumushabe initially. And even with the call, it's a good way to slow down the attack from St. Mary's.
Yeah, you don't want to let that counter get going. It has proven to be very dangerous here tonight. Corvalon goes out wide. Breslauer up the side. Back to Corvalon. Gill pressuring. Taken away from
there by Omri Gall.
Gall waiting for reinforcements. Tumushabe gets around the edge. Connor Gill continuing his run forward. Still Tumushabe run off
loses
it.
Control of the ball.
Goes forward to Panton.
Panton getting past Lanyon and Shin there.
Gross with the good clearance. Panton goes down, looks to be in pain.
Looks to be maybe clutching at his shoulder there, or I'm not quite sure, but he gets back up despite the pain.
Balogun on the ball. Gall trying to defend him. Kelly into the middle for Hindle. Balogun, nice
good
flick to
there by
yeah.
Balogun. Can't keep the ball in play though.
Tried to go for the give and go, would have had him free up the sideline, but just too far out of his reach. Throw in for Gross.
Quentin Millett just came on for Io George.
4 minutes left in this game. Nevins, long ball up the sideline, off the head of Gill. Tumushabe trying to turn onto it. And now it's played back to Kalinowski. Balogun was offsides. And Nevins, so he couldn't play that ball, and Nevins clears it out the side.
There are just 3.5 minutes left here. If neither team scores, it will end in a draw as Balakin gets it on a corner, in the corner.
Nevins pokes it out. Throw in for the Seahawks. Kelly goes right back to Balagan. Gross with the block out the side.
Another throw in. Now 3 minutes left.
So the clock continuing to burn down as all this happens. Panton with it, trying to cut back in past Gall. He had him beat. Crosses in. Nevins
headed out
took
by
a
Nevins.
whack there. Volleyed back. Deflected off of Shin. Panton now cutting back in. Cleared away. Gross.
Good job by Nevins to get that clearance.
Yeah.
Despite the contact and a speculative effort from Breslauer, is now Swarthmore look to attack with 2.5 left.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell there that Nevins knew that he was going to get hit, but he nearly laid out to get that header clearance. Charlie Ward now up the near sideline. Into Tumushabe, trying for the give and go, but Corvalon in defensive position. Ward with the challenge from behind. Corvalon stays on it now. Nevins.
And the referee calls a free kick.
Played back. Barlow goes out wide to Breslauer. Balagan. Gall stands his ground. Head to Lau. Now here's Tumushabe trying to get around Hindle, but
had a couple passes, looked to take it himself. Good job by Hindle
Akobo
with the recovery.
Panton in the middle, as is
and
McRoby.
Another good
Great
recovery
job
by Shin.
Yep.
Once again, just great defensive effort from Mujin Shin.
And Shin just boots this. Tumushabe can't do anything about it. Throw for the Seahawks. Kelly goes up the sideline. Panton with Gill on him. Gall able to take it away. Millett trying to make the run. Gall still on it. Out wide for Gill. 1 minute left in this final period of overtime. Hindle. Gill trying to fight for it. Commits the foul.
By Gill.
As Kelly goes down, Hindle goes up the line to Corvalon. Corvalon to Balagan. And a good play by Lau. Here's Connor Gill now. He's got space to run. And look at Balagan coming back. But the pass goes forward to Millett trying to get around the edge. Breslauer is there.
They're both tussling. They both go down. And free kick called in St. Mary's favor. 20 seconds to go. And it does look like this game will end in a draw.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would take a last hope from both teams. Gross heads forward. Kelly sends it all the way back down. McRoby trying to get underneath. Nevins is there. Hindle just boots it, and with that, time expires for another year. The Garnet able to spoil the Seahawks' undefeated preseason. Both
teams are undefeated.
Yeah, well, yes, I guess undefeated. They prevented them from maintaining the win. Akobo down right now, showing his emotion at that loss. I mean,
draw.
Just, yeah, pardon me, draw. But, you know, a valiant effort from both teams throughout this entire game.
Once again, both teams really impressive on that, through that deep ball. You know, Joey Barulli was able to get behind the defense a couple of times. Khalid Balagan was able to get past the defense quite a few times. You know, very impressive job slipping behind his marker on the goal, and a great job by Harry Nevins getting one for himself.
So both teams go to 5-0-1 on the season after the draw. Both no longer perfect to start the year, but they're head to conferences with their heads high, both teams, that's for sure. The Garnet begin their conference schedule this Saturday against Dickinson. That game will be at 7 o'clock right here at Clothier Field Stadium. We'll have that call on the Garnet Sports Network, and we hope to see you then. On behalf of Jacob Brady and Santi Caicedo, have a good night.
Good night.
You try and commentate Ronald's